Namaskar and welcome to another episode of Ananda Marga Dharmacast. And if you're new here, we're a podcast series which looks at topics in spirituality using the teachings of Shrii Shrii Anandamurti as our foundation. And today we have a topic which I've kind of labeled what gives a mantra its pizzazz, or what gives a mantra its special quality that makes it effective. And this is based on numerous discourses of Anandamurti, but one which is found in Ananda Vacanamtram part 13, which is called Mantra and Japa. And he talks about mantra there and why mantras work, why they can help to liberate a person from darkness, from dullness, and expand their mind and to reach divinity. So we're going to look at this process. I think, after so many years that this idea of mantra has been in the West, it's been in India, of course, for thousands of years, but in the late 60s, I remember when the Beatles got into meditation, and then it got part of the consciousness, and people learned that you have to maybe go somewhere to meet somebody and get initiated, and initiation is like the process of starting or learning meditation. So I'm going to start by reading from a Sanskrit poem, which comes from the Tantra Shastras, the ancient Tantric scripts, and it's part of this discourse which Anandamurti gave in 1978. So the poem is like this. It says, Deepa Gyanam Jato Dadyat Kuryat Papa Kayam Tato Tasmat Dikshati Sa Prokta Sarva Tantrasya Samata. And the meaning of that is the process which produces the capacity to realize the inner import of mantra and which expedites the requital of sanskaras or reactive momenta is called diksha. So diksha is actually the word, and not initiation, but there's no English equivalent, so that we say initiation. So then he goes on, he says, one has to choose one's mantra according to one's sanskaras, or reactive momenta, and it will become one's Ishta mantra. Sanskaras, you can say, is the karma, and I'll talk more about that. It's the reactive, the stuff from the past. And Ishta mantra is the personal mantra which guides you towards divinity. So he said any word can qualify as mantra, but it cannot be Ishta mantra, nor can it be of any use during intuitional practice or sadhana or meditation, we can say. A mantra has to be impregnated with consciousness. That is, it should be Siddha mantra. A Siddha mantra is one which is infused with consciousness, Chaitana. Mahakaulas, here, Mahakaula means a great realized spiritual personality. Create Siddha mantras. They select words containing syllables and infuse them with pulsating vitality. Only then will they declare them to be Siddha mantras. A mantra which is thus created is called mantra chaitanya. It means mantra consciousness. Otherwise, a mantra is nothing more than a collection of sounds. So the mantra has to have this touch or infusion of spiritual consciousness to make it work, because there are many syllables in our alphabet. In the ancient Sanskrit alphabet, they counted 50 vowels and consonants. Everything was there. There are 50. But here, in any of those, you can choose. You can meditate on any of them. And I'll give an example later where someone did that. But they will not be Ishta mantra unless they've been touched by that great personality. And Anandamurti goes on to say that, about that. If a person chooses a mantra and starts chanting, it will yield nothing. Even if one chants them thousands of times, because that mantra is not a Siddha mantra, or a mantra that has been impregnated with consciousness. An ordinary person cannot create mantra chaitanya, nor is it possible for them to do so. They have to chant a Siddha mantra. So here, the chanting, what he's talking about is not, external chanting. We're talking about really actually an internal repetition of the mantra. So that's what has to be done. So he goes on also to talk about that in this process, there are two parts of that diksha. He talks about diksha, and we go back to this poem, and the poem talks about Deepa Gyanam. Deepa Gyanam, there are two words here in this first line, Deepa Gyanam and Papa Kayam. So Deepa means a light. So we have to have a light. If you're in a darkness, you need a light to show you where to walk and to go on the path. So that's what happens. That's why it's just not just you go in the door and the yogi says, okay, this is your mantra, but there's something going on here, and you're getting that light. You're getting the process of how you are to go into the darkness. Another thing that you're getting with this kind of a mantra is you're getting Papakayam. Papa stands for, in a very, you can say a very mundane parlance, you can say sin, but it's not really sin. It means the reactions of all the past actions. It's the karma. So we're carrying tons of that karma. You don't know. You might know from this very life, there's so many things you didn't get the bad reward you should have gotten. And sometimes we grieve we didn't get the good reward that we should have gotten. But we also know that we've committed, we've done things, we've thought things, we said, mostly said and done things which have not been that completely correct. We didn't get the reward for that, the negative reward, you can say. So, and this can come from here, and if you believe in the past lives, which I do, they come even from the momentum of the past. So kayam means the annihilation, destruction, the alleviation, you can say also. So how does that happen? It happens because when you enter into this process, things start to speed up in your life, and if you're in a good mood when you receive this, you may get that mood may increase, or you can start to experience a lot of crazy things happen, and your life goes topsy-turvy. But you have to hang in there and stick in there and keep with that mantra, because that mantra, which has been illuminated, it's been created by a great personality. So that personality could be living today or could be from the past, but it really has to be done. Someone great has to have consecrated, you could say, that word, and that word becomes a mantra, and it can be used as an ishta mantra, means your personal mantra, which will lead you to divinity. Now, normally, in the realm of spirituality, people have said that it takes many lives to reach that spiritual perfection. You have to undergo many lives. And even there's a story where one person asked the great sage, well, when will I get liberation? Then he said, look at that tree up there. It was a tamarind tree. I guess we don't have that here in the West where I'm sitting right now, but it's a tree with many leaves. So the yogi told this man, he said, count all the leaves on the tree. After that many lives, you will get liberation. So the guy, now most people I think would be despondent, but this guy started jumping and dancing. So someone said to him, why are you dancing? He said, well, it means I will get liberation. But Anandamurti says, I don't want you to have to wait for so many lives like that. It can be done in this very lifetime if you follow the right process and get the proper mantra. And the mantra also he mentions here, it has to be suited to you. because each one of us, we have the different momenta, we have different karma, so it has to be kind of suited that it can help you to carry your load and to exhaust it and to go on despite all obstacles, because there will be many obstacles on a journey. So like, if you go on an easy journey, there's no obstacles, that the road is paved, everything is there, all the road signs are there. But on a long journey, a difficult journey, and usually a journey which will carry you towards the greatest reward, it doesn't come easy. So you know that even in your mundane life, easy things, you can get them, but the things in life which are really worth attaining take a lot of effort and a lot of struggle. So the spiritual effort is the greatest of them all. And the reward is the greatest of them all. So don't think that it's going to be paved all the way and well lit and well marked. No, you have to go through a difficult path. But if you have the Deepa Jnanam, that light, a guiding light, that proper knowledge, and you have that mantra. Part of Deepa Jnanam is to have a mantra which is infused with mantra consciousness. Then what will happen is that you will overcome the momenta of the past, and you will reach journey. Not in hundreds or thousands of lifetimes, or thousands like the leaves of that tree, but in this very lifetime. So I wanted to give an example of somebody who made up his own mantra. And it's a very interesting example. There was a poet, Alfred Lord Tennyson. He lived in the 1800s in England, and he used to repeat his own name over and over. And now we don't know which part of his name, because his name was Alfred, so he did Alfred, but he was also called his I think it's his title, Lord Tennyson. It's a title. If he did Tennyson, we don't know. But he explains in his memoirs, diaries, that he attained a very calming state of an otherworldly state, of another state of consciousness, higher consciousness. So you can pick one like he did, but it's better to get them in the right place, from the right person. So now the question comes, big question, where are you going to get it? So like I said in the beginning, when this thing first entered our consciousness in the West here, we had heard about the Beatles, and they had a guru named Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and he was doing initiation. He was giving mantras to people. So I had a friend who lived in Philadelphia, and she explained how she learned. She said, yeah, I heard there was some place where they were giving out mantras. So I went there. So it happened to be one of our yogis was there. And I remember too, when I was in California and I invited this same yogi to come to give lessons to people. I went to the airport and I didn't do any kind of, you can say, advertising. But when I came back from the airport with the yogi, the place was filled with people because everybody had heard about this process and they wanted to learn. But now it's less common and you won't find some house where they're giving out mantras. So where are you going to do it? So anyway, in the link below, I give, in the links below, in the description, you can have my contact and some of my colleagues. You follow those websites which I put there, and you can find someone who can give you a proper mantra and the proper process where you can learn how to meditate, and you can be successful. Not in thousands of lifetimes, or not in hundreds of lifetimes, but in this very life, you can go on the most interesting and difficult, you can say, journey, but you will do it with success because you have the right tools and you have the backing of the process which has been valid for thousands of years. So that's all I want to say today. And if you've been listening and you find this interesting, please, if you're on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so that you can get further ones. If you leave a comment, that's great. If the comments are helpful, I can learn more about what you're feeling and what you're thinking about this subject. And if you have suggestions for future things we should delve into, definitely, by all means, put them in the comments. And if you're on an audio platform, you can also subscribe so that you'll be notified. Usually they notify you by email, I think, about future episodes, which we release every periodical time. I'm trying to reach the weekly. Last week I missed one. So that's all for now, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope to see you again. And until then, I greet you with the greeting Namaskar, which goes like this. I greet you with my mind and all the love and cordiality of my heart. And I will see you and talk to you soon.